in time. Sergeant Raphael O'Reilly moved slowly and methodically about the cramped staff kitchen of Howth Garda Station, his mind going over and over the revelations of the morning. Raffy, at 59 years old, had one more year to go until his retirement. He'd never thought he'd be looking forward to that day until the events of this morning. With every step he took, he heard the crackle of his once solid beliefs under his boots. He spooned 2 heaps of instant coffee into his mug. The mug, shaped like an NYPD squad car, had been brought back from New York by one of the boys at the station as his Christmas gift. He pretended the sight of it offended him, but secretly he found it comforting. He held it in his hands, feeling that he should run it along the countertop making siren noises before crashing it into the bag of sugar, which, if nobody was around to see, would consequently tip over and spill onto the car. Instead of doing that, he checked around the kitchen to ensure he was alone, then added half a teaspoon of sugar to his mug. A little more confident, he coughed to disguise the crinkling of the sugar bag as the spoon once again pushed down and then quickly fired a heaped teaspoon into the mug. Having gotten away with 2 spoons, he became cocky and reached into the bag one more time. "Drop your weapon, sir!" a female voice called with authority. Startled, Raffy jumped, the sugar from his spoon spilling over the counter. "Caught in the act, Raffy." His colleague Jessica joined him at the counter and whipped the spoon from his hand. She took a mug from the cupboard, a Jessica Rabbit novelty mug, compliments of Kris Kringle, and slid it across the counter to him. Porcelain Jessica's voluptuous breasts brushed against his car. "I'll have one too." She broke into his thoughts of Jessica Rabbit. Jessica had joined the station 6 months ago, and already Raffy had grown more than fond of the 26-year-old, 5'4" athletic blonde who always seemed willing and able, no matter what her task was. He also felt she brought a much-needed feminine energy to the all-male team at the station. Many of the other men agreed, but not for the same reasons as Raffy. He saw her as the daughter that he'd never had, or that he'd had, but lost. Despite her energy, her eyes, almond-shaped and such a dark brown they were almost black. Her eyes held a mystery that he didn't much want to explore, but he knew that whatever it was, it drove her forward during those standout times when most sensible people would go the opposite way. "Half a spoon is hardly going to kill me," he added grumpily after tasting his coffee, knowing that just one more spoon would have made it perfect. "If pulling that Porsche over almost killed you last week, then half a spoon of sugar most certainly will. Are you actually trying to give yourself another heart attack?" "It was a heart murmur, Jessica, nothing more, and keep your voice down," he hissed. "You should be resting," she said more quietly. "The doctor said I was perfectly normal." "Then the doctor needs his head checked. You've never been perfectly normal." "You've only known me 6 months," he grumbled. "Longest 6 months of my life." She smiled, but it never reached her eyes. Yes, not much of a morning for smiles. "Some morning, eh, kiddo? My first Christmas day on duty. I played chess with the sergeant for the entire shift." Those almond-shaped eyes glistened. "Lucky you." "Yeah," he nodded. "Didn't see it that way at the time, though. Was hoping for plenty of action." 40 years later, he'd gotten what he'd hoped for, and now he wanted to give it back. Return the gift. Get his time refunded. "Will you tell anyone?" he asked. She shrugged. She nodded down the hall at the holding room. "The turkey boy is still waiting in there." Raffy sighed. "What a waste. He's one that could do with knowing." Jessica paused and fixed those near black eyes on him. "Tell him," she said firmly. "If we never tell anybody else in our lives, at least let's tell him." Raffy entered the interrogation room as though he was entering his living room and was about to settle himself on his couch with his feet up for the day. There was nothing threatening about his demeanour. Despite his height of 6'2", he fell short of filling the space his physical body took up. His head was, as usual, bent over in contemplation. The top of his back was slightly hunched, as though he carried a small shell as shelter. On his belly was an even bigger shell. In one hand was a styrofoam cup. In the other, his half-drunk NYPD mug of coffee. The turkey boy glanced at the mug in Raffy's hand. Cool. Not.